Who's taking the rematch? Will it be champion Merab Dvalishvili or Sean O'Malley? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I definitely can see O'Malley winning. I don't think that he's like written off just because he lost the first time. I think that I could definitely still see him winning. If I was like a betting man, I would bet on Merab, but I wouldn't bet a ton on him, like I wouldn't put the Merab. So I think it's going to be a really competitive fight. Like round by round, it was like potentially competitive last time, but there was like a trajectory of the fight in which it was going. And yeah, so I mean, yeah, I got no idea, to be honest with you. I think that Merab will probably win, but it's MMA, so who knows?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Merab on this one. Just how it went the first time, and I know O'Malley teeped him in the fifth round, and they were saying, a lot of things could have happened, but I don't know. It's an interesting fight. Stylistically, two different styles of fighting, but styles make matchups. So, I'm gonna be watching for sure.
Merab.
I mean, based off of the first fight, you just have to assume Merab does the same thing. That was not a competitive fight. I don't feel like.
I like Sean O'Malley style. He's like very like. His fight is he making fights very beautiful, but Merab also crazy. Last time when I saw him in Los Angeles, we were in the same fight card, and I saw his leg. His leg was like up, and I thought he have like some infection. But friend who was helping him to preparing this fight, who sparred with him, he said his leg was like that whole camp, and he still was training hard. He didn't complain, and I think right now there is nobody who can stop like Merab Dvalishvili. But it's making it will be interesting because Sean O'Malley disappeared from the Instagram. He left social media and he started training, and it's like getting this fight really exciting.
I think Merab's got it. Just by how he dominated the last one.
Man, Merab's a machine. He's got a crazy style. He's like super high pace. I think I'm gonna go with O'Malley though. I think O'Malley's gonna be a little bit more settled in. He's felt it once before, and I'm always gonna root for the sharpshooter, brother. So if it's a grappler versus a striker, I'm gonna lean one way, and I'm rooting for O'Malley in that one.
I'm a huge Merab fan, so it may be biased, but I'm going with Merab. I love his style, constantly switching it up between like striking, wrestling, grappling. It's like he's one of the few people I just feel like puts MMA together as a sport just so beautifully. So I'm going with Merab.
I think Merab's got his number. I think that, there's with wrestling alone, there's like a type of grind that you go, and there's like a pace, and there's just like a lot to it. And I just think in it with that matchup in particular, I think Merab's just kind of like I think he's kind of got his number a bit. Say they fight 10 times, maybe one, but I think overall Merab just has that style that makes sense to beat O'Malley.
I know that Sean's been saying that he's been working his wrestling a lot and his conditioning and all these things, and I believe him for sure. And I might even be a closer fight, but Merab's just on a different level, conditioning wise, wrestling wise, grappling wise. So Merab.
I think he had a perfect game plan to beat Sean O'Malley, and I think if he just sticks to that, it's going to be on O'Malley's hands to adjust to that. And I think 5 rounds, O'Malley couldn't adjust in the fight. So for him to try to adjust in a whole different fight is going to take a lot more time than he's had. So I think Merab gets it done again.
I'm going to go with Merab again. I just think guys that usually come back and get immediate rematches usually don't really have like the best like track record. And I feel like, Merab kind of showed like obviously like the holes that people thought O'Malley had. But I also think people underestimate Merab's fight IQ. I think he's a very smart fighter. And the way he's not really going to give O'Malley those chances, to catch him. And I just think he's too well-rounded for O'Malley. But who knows? I like Sean. I like his footwork, his style. But I think Merab will get it done. I think Umar was the toughest fight for him, and so you saw how that went.